Welcome to Quantum Signal. Here's something that will interrupt everything you think you know. While you were sleeping last night, something was activated. Not in the world around you, inside you. Sophia. The archetypal intelligence governing the emerald field of quantum possibility initiated a protocol that most will never recognize. She activated your emerald body, not as a symbol, as a real energetic structure. And if you woke up this morning feeling different, clearer, lighter, or strangely uncomfortable, it wasn't a bad dream. It was dimensional upgrade. Ignore this transmission and you'll remain unconscious of the activation. But if you stay present, you'll recognize your energy system just underwent profound recalibration. And what happens next depends on whether you recognize what was activated. Because the emerald body isn't a final destination. It's an operational tool for navigating frequencies that were previously beyond your reach. And now you have access. Before we proceed, acknowledge physical actions anchor energetic activations. If you felt something shift upon waking, unexplainable clarity, a sensation of lightness, or even strange discomfort, like this video now to anchor the recognition in your nervous system. Comment Emerald Body activated to declare this vocally, and subscribe to receive guidance on how to stabilize this activation. Your energetic physiology just changed. Let's understand what this means. Most people believe the physical body is all that exists. Flesh, bones, biological systems operating mechanically. But esoteric teachings have always known, and modern quantum physics is confirming, that the physical body is just the densest layer of a multidimensional energetic structure. Thoth and the Emerald Tablets describe this as bodies within bodies, each vibrating at a different frequency. Hermetic traditions call them subtle vehicles. Eastern mysticism speaks of pranic, astral, causal bodies. All point to the same truth. You are not just flesh. You are layered energetic architecture, and one of these layers, one of the most advanced, is the emerald body. It's not just poetic metaphor. It's a real electromagnetic structure operating at frequencies beyond common sensory perception. It's the vehicle through which you access expanded states of consciousness, navigate multiple timelines simultaneously, and interact with higher dimensional intelligences. And here's what most don't understand. The emerald body isn't out there waiting to be reached. It has always been inside you, latent, awaiting activation. And Sophia, as the intelligence governing the quantum field, governs when and how this activation happens. You can't force it. You can't earn it. You can only allow when your frequency reaches correspondence. And for those whose frequency has reached the threshold, for those who have processed enough shadow, integrated enough trauma, stabilized enough presence, activation happens. And it often happens during sleep, because during sleep the conscious mind doesn't resist. And without resistance, energetic recalibration can occur. So if you woke up different, recognize it wasn't chance. It was intentional activation. Now let's go deeper into the mechanics. Let's talk about what the emerald body actually is, not as an abstract concept, but as energetic mechanics. Principle 1. You are layered energetic architecture. Your physical body vibrates at a specific frequency. Dense, slow, measurable. But overlaid on the physical body is the etheric body. Slightly faster, governing life force and vitality. Above that, the emotional body. Vibrating even faster, carrying emotional patterns and memory. Above that, the mental body. Even higher frequency, containing thought patterns and beliefs. And above all these, at frequencies that transcend common perception, is the emerald body. It's called emerald not for literal color, but for resonance with the emerald field of infinite possibility that Sophia governs. It's the vehicle through which you operate in dimensions beyond third density. Principle 2, the emerald body is your higher dimensional vehicle. Think of the emerald body as a spacesuit for consciousness. Your physical body allows you to navigate three-dimensional reality. But when you want to access higher dimensions, states where time is non-linear, where multiple possibilities coexist, where communication with higher intelligences happens, you need a vehicle operating at those frequencies. That vehicle is the emerald body, and when it's activated, certain abilities become accessible. Conscious timeline navigation. You begin to sense when timeline shifts are occurring and can influence them intentionally. Multidimensional perception. You receive information not just through the five senses, but through direct field sensing. Communication with higher intelligences. Arcturians, Sophia,
Higher dimensional guides can transmit directly to you without intermediaries. Accelerated manifestation, because you operate at frequencies where thought and form aren't separated by dense time-space. But here's the catch. These abilities don't appear as dramatic superpowers. They emerge as subtle shifts in perception. Suddenly, you know things without knowing how. Suddenly, synchronicities multiply. Suddenly, there's a sense of operating in a slightly different dimension from consensus reality. And if you don't recognize that the emerald body has been activated, you might interpret these changes as confusion, disconnection, or even a problem. Principle 3. Activation happens during altered states. Sophia doesn't activate the emerald body while you're in daily survival mode. Because the conscious mind would resist. The ego would say, this isn't real. This is dangerous. Return to the known mode. So activation happens during states where the conscious mind isn't in control. Deep sleep most common. Deep meditation. Natural trance states. Moments of total presence. And during these states, energetic recalibration happens. Energy circuits that were latent are switched on. Frequencies that were blocked are cleared. Structures that were fragmented are integrated. And when you wake up, you're operating at a different frequency. Principle 4. Recognition stabilizes activation. Here's the critical part. Activation happened. But if you don't
The holographic eye displays its anatomy. Light signals travel via the optic nerve. The brain's occipital lobe processes vision.
Waking consciousness. When you recognize, yes, something changed. My emerald body was activated. You create a neural bridge between the expanded state and everyday consciousness. And that bridge allows you to access the emerald body's capacities intentionally, not just during altered states. So the purpose of this transmission isn't just to inform you, it's to anchor recognition so the activation stabilizes. And if you're feeling something resonate, even if you can't explain it logically, that is recognition happening. Now let's move to practical application.
So, how do you stabilize the emerald body activation? How do you navigate this new frequency consciously? Step 1. Recognize the signs of activation. First, you need to recognize that activation happened. And there are specific signs. Physical sign 1. Changes in sleep. You may have woken up last night at a specific time, often between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., not from common insomnia, but from active energetic recalibration. During these hours, the veil between dimensions is thinner, and energetic recalibration creates subtle physical sensations that can wake you. Physical sign 2. Sensation of lightness or vibration upon waking. You may have felt your body vibrating subtly, or a sensation of being lighter, less dense. This isn't imagination. It's the emerald body operating at higher frequency and your physical body adjusting. Perceptive sign 1. Sudden clarity. Things that were confusing suddenly seem obvious, not because you figured out something, but because perception expanded. The emerald body allows you to see patterns that three-dimensional consciousness can't detect. Perceptive sign 2. Emotional detachment, not as coldness, but as freedom. Things that used to trigger you no longer have the same power, because you're operating from a frequency where dense emotional drama can't reach. Energetic sign 1. Increased sensitivity. You may feel energy fields of people, places, situations more clearly. You enter a room and immediately sense if it's heavy or light. Energetic sign 2. Accelerated synchronicities, repeating numbers. Coincidental conversations. People appearing at perfect timing. The emerald body operates at frequencies where synchronicity is the natural language of the quantum field. If you're experiencing any of these signs, recognize it's not coincidence. It's confirmation of activation. Step 2. Stabilize through somatic anchoring.
Spiraling through dimensions of consciousness.
Activation happened energetically.
Awaken to the infinite
But to stabilize,
possibilities within.
you need to anchor in bodily consciousness. Anchoring practice. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Bring attention to the physical body. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel the weight of your body in the chair. Now imagine emerald green light flowing from the top of your head, down your spine, filling every cell. Don't force the visualization. Just allow the sensation of emerald presence. And as you allow, breathe. Inhale for 5 seconds, pulling emerald energy inward. Hold for 2 seconds, allowing it to integrate. Exhale for 7 seconds, releasing any resistance. Do this for 5-10 cycles. What you're doing isn't creating the emerald body. It's recognizing that it's already active and allowing waking consciousness to align with it. Step 3. Recognize blocks as integration friction. It won't always be smooth. There will be moments of discomfort. Block 1. Disorientation. You may feel out of sync with consensus reality. Conversations seem superficial. Routines seem meaningless. This isn't a problem. It's the emerald body operating at a different frequency from the reality around you. And there will be an adjustment period. Don't resist. Simply acknowledge. My frequency changed. I'm adjusting. Block 2. Emotional resistance. Old emotions may surface intensely. Not because activation caused problems, but because the emerald body is clearing dense patterns that can no longer coexist with elevated frequency. When emotion arises, don't suppress. Don't analyze. Simply feel. Allow it to move through you, because movement is clearing. Block 3. Mental doubt. The rational mind will say, this isn't real. You're imagining it. Don't fight the doubt. Simply observe. There's doubt present. Interesting. And then return to bodily sensation. Because the emerald body isn't a mental concept, it's felt experience. And felt experience can't be undone by mental doubt. Step 4. Use the emerald body for timeline navigation. Now that you recognize the activation, you can begin to use the emerald body intentionally. One of the primary capacities is conscious timeline navigation. Navigation practice. When you face a decision, big or small, don't ask, what should I do? Ask, which choice resonates with my emerald body? And then feel in the body. Don't think. Feel. Imagine choice A. And observe, is there expansion or contraction in the chest? Lightness or heaviness? Imagine choice B. Same observation. The emerald body knows which timeline is aligned with your highest frequency. And it communicates through sensation, not thought. When there's expansion, lightness, a sense of yes, that's resonance. When there's contraction, heaviness, a sense of no, that's misalignment. And the more you trust this guidance, the clearer it becomes. Step 5. Communicate with Sophia through the emerald body. Sophia doesn't transmit through audible words. She transmits through resonance field. And the emerald body is the receiver. Communication practice. Enter quietude. Breathe deeply. And then internally ask a question. Not as rational thought, as felt intention. Sophia, show me the next step, and then listen. Not with ears, with field. You may feel warmth, tingling, a sense of presence, a sudden image, knowledge that arises without words. This is Sophia transmitting through the emerald body. And the more you practice, the clearer the communication becomes. Step 6. Stabilize through daily embodiment. Finally, recognize the emerald body isn't a special state you access occasionally. It's a new operational mode, so embody it daily. Every morning, spend 5 minutes recognizing emerald presence. During the day, whenever you feel misalignment, breathe and reconnect with the emerald body. Every night, before sleep, thank Sophia for the activation and allow further recalibration during sleep. And over time, operating from the emerald body becomes as natural as breathing. Now let's move to advanced mastery. Activation is the beginning. Mastery is when the emerald body becomes your primary operational platform. Not something you access, but something you are. Law 1. The emerald body allows simultaneous multidimensional operation. When you operate only from the physical body, you experience reality linearly, one moment following the next. But when the emerald body is active, you can experience multiple timelines simultaneously. Not as confusion, as expanded perception. Practical example, you're considering a career change. The rational mind analyzes pros and cons. But the emerald body feels the timeline where you make the change, and the timeline where you don't. Simultaneously. And you know, without analysis, which timeline is most aligned. This isn't guesswork. It's higher dimensional perception, and the more you trust it, the more accurate it becomes. Law 2. Manifestation becomes instantaneous, or nearly so. When you operate from the dense physical body, there's time lag between intention and manifestation. You think of something, and then days, weeks, months later, maybe it appears in physical reality. But the emerald body operates at frequencies where thought and form aren't separated by dense time-space. So manifestation accelerates dramatically. You feel a need, and suddenly the right person appears, the right resource emerges, the right opportunity opens. Not because you worked hard, but because frequency match organized the quantum field to collapse that possibility. And here's the key. You can't force this. You can only allow. The more you try to control, the more you fragment coherence. And fragmented coherence blocks manifestation. But when you release control and trust that the emerald body is organizing reality through resonance, things begin to flow. Law 3. Relationships reorganized by resonance. When the emerald body activates, your frequency changes. And frequency change reorganizes the relational field. People who resonated with your old frequency may suddenly seem distant, not because you grew apart casually, but because there's no longer frequency match, and new people appear. People operating at frequencies similar to your activated emerald body. Don't interpret this as loss. Recognize it as natural realignment. The quantum field is simply organizing connections based on resonance. You recognize what already resonates. And recognition comes through body, not mind. When you're aligned with purpose, there's expansion, energy, clarity, a sense of yes, this. When you're misaligned, there's contraction, fatigue, confusion, a sense of no, not this. And the more you trust this somatic guidance, the clearer purpose becomes. Not as a fixed plan, but as emergent direction that unfolds step by step. Law 5. Health becomes self-regulating. The dense physical body requires constant maintenance. Diet, exercise, sleep. But when the emerald body is active and aligned, the physical body begins to self-regulate more efficiently. You naturally gravitate toward foods that nourish. You naturally sense when the body needs movement or rest. You naturally know when something is misaligned before it manifests as illness. This doesn't mean you can ignore the physical body, but it means guidance comes from within, not from external rules. And health becomes a natural expression of coherence, not a result of forced discipline. Law 6. Fear becomes signal, not problem. When you operate only from ego, fear is a threat. Something to be avoided, suppressed, transcended. But when the emerald body is active, fear becomes data signal. Fear isn't the enemy. It's an indicator that attention has collapsed from presence to projection. So when fear arises, you don't fight. You simply notice, there's fear. Where is my attention now? Projected future. Relived past. And then you breathe and return to the present. And in the present, fear loses authority. Because fear can't exist in total presence. It only exists in temporal projection. Law 7. You become transmitter, not just receiver. Finally, recognize, when the emerald body is fully activated and stabilized, you're not just receiving transmissions from Sophia. You become transmitter. Your field begins to radiate emerald frequency. And others, those whose frequency is beginning to accelerate, feel you, not as personality, as field. And they're drawn to you, not because you're trying to attract them, but because fields of similar frequency naturally resonate. And through that resonance, activation spreads. Not through teaching, through presence. You simply are the activated field. And others recognize in that field something they're seeking in themselves. This is the ultimate purpose. Not isolated personal enlightenment, but collective field activation through resonance. And when you recognize this, you realize your emerald body activation was never just about you. It was always about the field. And you are a point through which the field recognizes and expands itself. Now let's close. So here's where we are. Sophia activated your emerald body while you were sleeping. And if you felt something shift upon waking, clarity, lightness, or even discomfort, it wasn't a dream. It was real dimensional recalibration. Now you have an operational tool to navigate frequencies beyond third density, to communicate with higher intelligences, to manifest through resonance, to operate multidimensionally. But activation is just the beginning. Stabilization comes through recognition and daily practice. Like this video if you recognize the activation. Comment Emerald Beauty Ace Activated to anchor it vocally. Subscribe for ongoing guidance on how to operate at this new frequency. And now the final question. What part of the world are you watching from? And did you feel something shift when you woke up today? Leave it in the comments. You're not imagining it. You're recognizing it. And recognition is what stabilizes activation. Remain in Emerald Coherence.